ZAI, 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 kusimudzira marimi, 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 Muzimbabwe, Muzimbabwe, isuza simudziwa woga nezai. Marimi hatisina chekuchema, marimi hatisina chekuchema. Muzimbabwe, Muzimbabwe, isuza simudziwa woga nezai. Marimi marimi hatisina chekuchema. ZAI, kusimudzira marimi, 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 ZAI, kusimudzira marimi. ZAI, Zimbabwe Agricultural Initiative, to promote farmers' work in Zimbabwe and the development of the economy.
In terms of how does the ZAI look, Mrs. Sindo explained to us that we are a CIC, and one of the things about the company is that we are asset locked. So where we are asset locked, which means part of our profit is mainly geared for the development of our communities, which is the communities that have been said, the Zimbabwean community here in the UK and the Zimbabwean community at home. Yeah, so that's 35% of our profit as ZAI as a company goes towards that. Hence, you are hearing about all the other things we are talking about. What can we do for our people who are here in terms of the need for them to go home, but that transition to be managed properly so that people don't go out over there and they become desperate. Because we've worked so hard here. I think for some of you who grew up, have you ever heard that? Well, they went all the way to South Africa to work for everybody. When they came back with a suitcase and a hat. And that's all they became known as. And that is not one of the things we want to be known as a diaspora. Hence, we need to look after ourselves. No one can do that. So moving on from that as as a community interest company, which means we can do a lot within the UK. We can look for funding within the UK. So unless there's men and women who are working hard to find where is this funding, we can't access it. So we need people with the skills to do that with us. So that's one bit. The other bit about ZAI, we talked about how do we operate. We have clusters, which is some of this. Health is one of the clusters, social responsibility is one of the clusters, but we have got main clusters which looks at crop, which is general crops that are grown on an annual level for those who are going to be doing farming. Then we've got horticulture, those who wants to just produce for all the time for the market. We're looking at all markets. Then we have animal, which is our animals. Yeah. Livestock, as it's called, and that's led by Mr. Simbane Gali in terms of clusters. So that's his expertise. Then we also have agro services, which is still being led by myself, Mr. Chigodora, and basically that is looking at the value chain. So those who can be farmers, you've got transport. Come in. Those who are good at marketing, create a market. You're welcome. Those who have got consultants, agronomists, we need all those skills. So there is a space for everyone. is just thinking about your idea and talking to us, see where you pitch in. So that is in terms of clusters. Those are operating clusters. So when we talk about land, going for land with the government, people who are in clusters will work towards a project which is a showcase, like you've heard, we can do that one. And then through that, that's your entry point to actually getting land, because it then says you are actually serious about this. So you will invest, and that's the entry point to be in a cluster for you to access land. And when I'm talking of access land, I'm not talking of accessing land for just using. We're now talking of those who actually want the government to allocate land for them. So we're advocating for that. In terms of work where we are, I'm sure you've heard that we've been doing work that was started from 2016. There was active engagement with the government with some of our outgoing board and the new going, and some of the members that are in the current board. And that work is mainly, which is now you are hearing that the diaspora engagement, we pioneered some of that work, and we've been talking to the government to say, look, we need to be recognized, we want to work, we want our engagement to be noticed. How can we engage in a meaningful way, rather than us just throwing money to family, and when I come back I've got nothing? So we need to invest in things that actually matter for us. So that's the other work that you've heard, which is about trying to engage with the immigration. I think that work has been covered, and you will ask us more in depth. And so in terms of where we are and moving forward, so we have a plan which is about actively looking for markets for our products, because there are people already growing at home. So we need to find a market here for them. So that is the work that ZAI will be embarking on, to make sure we've actually found a market for our products that are being grown. While we are waiting for some of us to get land, we have farmers within our ZAI themselves. We are growing already. We need to get these products to the market. So in a nutshell, that's ZAI for you. Thank you.